Well, the Nasdaq plunging nearly 10% just this week, but Microsoft held up relatively well, falling only about 5%. Today, the company unveiled new Copilot tools at its 50th anniversary celebration, and our Steve Kovac is there, along with Microsoft's AI CEO Suleyman. Steve?
Hey, John, thanks so much. Yes, like you said, joining me right now is Suleyman. He is the AI CEO at Microsoft. And those Copilot announcements, this is your baby, right? This is Copilot. This is what you were brought here a year ago to do and bring it really to the forefront of consumer AI. And to recap a little bit of what was announced today, you have this new idea of actions, this agent that goes out there and uses the web for you, whether that's booking a table, an open table. You also have this more personalized version of Copilot now that can remember things about you. At the same time, if people who follow these chatbots and this generative AI technology, these aren't new features. We've seen a lot of these before from OpenAI, your partner, and the like. I guess my question for you is, what do you need in order to move faster to stay ahead of your partners, in the case of OpenAI, and the competition right now?
I think the thing that everyone's got to ground on is that this is just the very beginning of a massive tectonic shift in the way that we all use computers. Computers are about to become much more personalized, have real perfect memory of everything you've talked about in the past, and actually do things on your behalf. So in Windows today, for example, we now have Copilot Vision that can select areas of the screen that you should click on to help you fix bugs, turn on a specific setting. You might want to do your Bluetooth or your Wi-Fi. It's really quite magical to have this thing working alongside you, integrated into the core operating system. So I think it's just the very first glimmers of what is really a seismic shift.
Now, what you announced today is something we've heard before also from Apple. They were talking about doing very similar things in Siri, and then a few weeks ago, they come out and say, oops, we can't do it. We don't have it ready right now in order to ship. What did you think when you saw that? Knowing you were working on this, knowing that you were going to announce this more personalized Copilot, when you saw Apple kind of flub on their version or their take on this, what went through your mind?
You can download the app today, download Copilot in the App Store in Android, and you have all those features right there available literally today and over the next week or two. Main feature that I'm super excited about is Copilot Vision. You can point it at anything in your physical environment on your phone, and it will see what you see in real time, understanding the scene, able to talk to you about everything that it's seeing. That is a completely different way than we've ever used computers before. I think it's really magical.
So iPhone users don't necessarily need to wait for that new version of Siri, is what I think you're telling me right now. Let's move on. I want to talk about the infrastructure investments. This has been a huge thing people have been watching closely, and just this week we got even more reports about Microsoft sort of backing away from their infrastructure investments, maybe delaying some contracts or canceling some contracts. We know what your investment looks like, at least through the end of this fiscal year, but looking forward, it seems like you guys are kind of changing, either slowing down the pace, and then we got hit this week, tariffs. That announcement from President Trump, which is going to impact not just chips and the computer parts you need to make these data centers here, but it's also things like steel, cement, everything you need to do to literally build the physical structure. Has this changed the conversation? What kind of conversations are you guys having now internally at Microsoft in light of these new tariffs about building it out?
If you just step back and consider big picture, the shift that is happening is from CPUs to AI accelerators. We are going to need many, many, many more times these accelerators than we have today over the next 5, 10, and 15 years. And all we're trying to do is sort of pace ourselves. We put options on many, many different data centers and many different environments. And we're just trying to steady the pace because, look, we're making seismic investments, huge investments relative to what has been spent on capital infrastructure in the history of companies, not just our own, but in the industry across the board. So I'm very, very optimistic that this trajectory is just going to continue as these models get more and more valuable and more integrated into our day-to-day life.
Are the tariffs complicating that picture in any way?
We're all still trying to make sense of what's been happening in the last 24, 36 hours. The markets are trying to make sense of it. We are too. So it'll take everyone a little time to just digest it and absorb it. But, I'm pretty confident on what the overall trajectory looks like.